Hey everyone, just popped on for a small while for this evening. Remember that clock I was engraving during my hangout? Some of you may or may not remember. Well, I was actually I finished off that clock this morning, so I moved nothing last night. I engraved the numbers on the outside and I left everything as is. And this morning I engraved the logo with the Astropreneur logo on it. So this is what it looks like. And now it was a whiter wood, but I gave it a few coats of a clear top coat, and because the wood is so absorbent, the top coat that I put on was actually gloss, but it absorbed into the material. So that is the outcome. And I drilled a hole because I marked out the center point. So I drilled a hole through it this morning, and then instead of going in and building a tool path and all this kind of stuff on my CNC, I actually just manually mounted this in my CNC. Now I was going to use the Congro Robo, but this is too wide to fit in the Congro. So because it has side panels, acrylic side panels. So I used my Artur, the Artur Arufo CNC, and that did the job. So I actually cut out the opening to embed the clock's mechanism. So I decided let's come online and put it together. So these clock mechanisms you buy in Hobby Lobby. This is called from the clock shop in Hobby Lobby. The instructions are with it. So you basically you buy the body, you get the shaft length that you need, and then you buy a set of hands of the type that you want. And I have black hands because it's a bright face. And battery goes down. The battery opening goes downward. So I'm gonna with 12 on top here. I'm gonna fit this nice and snug, and just enough protrudes here to put on my threads. But one thing I forgot to do actually, and I should have done it a moment ago, but I'll do it right now. In the little kit you get with the clock, there's various different spacers and washers that you need to use. So hi to whoever's out in chat. Let me see who's on there. Hey Zolan. Anyone with a translator? Thank you. Yeah, I know. You're easily amused, Zolan. So am I. So we have a various different components, but there's a large rubber washer that has to go on first. And that actually goes on here over this before it goes onto the back of the clock, into the face. So we're going to fit that in there, and there's just barely enough of the brass thread popping up to make it visible. And according to the instructions, the next thing you do is put on a brass washer, which there's one here. And then we'll get the large hex bolt that goes on over that, and it should just catch it and pull it into place. Now I may need to get a where is it? There. Just to get it, I don't want it tight. I just want to get it snug. So I'm gonna put this on here. Hey non-fam. Hey Jerry. Hi guys. Hey Sergio. I'm just putting together the last of this clock. So this is kind of a tight fit. I could have maybe done with taking out a little bit more on the back face, but let's see if it will go on. I just needed to hold this so it doesn't pull loose. There. So it's barely holding on. You might be able to see it up close there. Right? Now, when that's done, in case anybody else hasn't done clocks before, so there's a few different bolts. Now, if you're going to use a second hand, and I have 3 hands here, I have the hour, minute, and second. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use all of them. So if you're not going to use a second hand, there's a little cap to go over the hour. So the hour are the minute hand that holds everything in place. I'm not using that. So I'm going to be using a pass-through bolt instead. And you first thing you do is get on the one with the complete circle, which is the hour, which is the smallest of the hands. And it just gets pushed on. I'm going to put this on the table and I'll show you once it's done. Push on straight down as far as it'll go. So there's the hour. And then I'm going to get the minute hand, which is keyed. So if you look at the minute hand, It's actually keyed, and the shape of it it's flat on either side. Let's see. Oh, I'm just saying hi to everybody. Okay, so that has to go on in the right way over the next part. And then to hold that in place, because I'm going to use a second hand as well. If I'm not, I could use this other brass nut, but the top of it is enclosed. This one is open all the way through. And this goes on over the minute hand. And this takes a bit of finagling. Yes, I said the word finagling. I am that old. And it just goes on just enough to hold the mechanism in place. And make sure they're parallel. Oh, that's not even on straight, so let me fix that. It looks straight from above, but it's not. So let me correct that. I have time in my hands, literally. That's correct, Zolan. These are a pain to get straight. These small little brass washers are really difficult to get them on straight. So just give me a moment. They take a few attempts to get them right. It appears to be going on fine, and then when you look at it from the side view, you notice that it's actually not on right. So that's hour and minute hands that are attached, and nothing is touching the surface. And then last is your second hand, and there's a little plastic coating over that, so we can take that off. Some ASMR, if anyone's into that. And in the center of the clock hand, there's a little pin. If you look really closely, there's a little pin in the center of that. The second hand pushes on over the pin. Let's see, the clock even does watch doohickey in the back have. It does not have a hanger. I'm going to have to make my own hanger, but it'll depend on where I'm going to put it. So that just pushes on over the pin. And let me make sure it's on tight. Like so. So let's see if it works. I do have a battery here somewhere. Positive, negative. We got a working clock. Nice and easy. And it looks really good. I have to make a hanger. I'm thinking about mounting it here behind me. What do you think? Do you think it'd be a good fit right here, guys? I'll set the time in a moment. What time is it actually? It's 5:29. That looks really good. Yeah, it does. So let me just set the time. Now the engravings for the numbers, because I did a hash, I did left to right and up and down. It says a second pass. It actually is a deep engraving. So it's just going to like the 5:35. Close enough there. So there's the result. If you listen, it's an old mechanical clock. You can hear. Hey, Namar, how are you? So that is, so as I said, the other day I did the numbers, and then this morning, that was yesterday on the stream, I did the numbers, and this morning I left everything as is, and I powered up my computer, I saved the file, and I powered up the computer. I do a backwards clock. I'd have to figure out the mechanism to make it go reverse, but and what I did was I engraved my logo on it, which is much lighter. So this is a deep engraving for the numbers, and this is a much lighter pass. And then I just added the clock mechanism to it just now live, and it came out as that's a really nice. So this is basswood. You buy these in Hobby Lobby, these pieces. And I did have to embed this area a little bit, about 6 or 7 millimeters below the surface, just to make sure that the mechanism of it would actually the copper that is threaded onto it will just get through, and it just barely got the right distance. So I got it just right, but it came out really nice. I didn't veneer the wood. No, this is actually this is live edge basswood. All I did was I sprayed it with some clear top coat, and it was actually a gloss top coat. But because basswood is so absorbent, when I sprayed it, even 3 coats, it actually absorbed into the wood. So I sprayed front and back, but it did darken the wood, so it's not pure white like it was. It actually gave a little bit of a nice texture to it. So it came out really nice. So one other project done. What do you guys think? It came out really well. So what I might do is I might make a little L bracket for here, for the back of it. So that way then I can actually just hang it here. Do you think it'd look good there? What do you think, guys? Do you think it'd be nice right there in the background? Obviously I'll center it so it actually hangs nice and clean. Actually, I'm off work this week. That's why I got stuff done. I've been tidying up my space a lot this week, and I'm still not finished with that. But I've been doing a lot of tidying up here. I need to open up a space over here that I had other printers in because my son needed a space for his VR set, which I'm going to spend tomorrow getting it mounted on the wall and getting it properly rigged up for him. But he has a VR set. He's tested, but in one small spot. What I've actually done now is I've opened up the whole area for him, so he has walking space. Excuse me. Sorry. The live edge keeps breaking up because it's basswood, so I might do a bit more coating of. I may take it apart again and recoat the live edge more, a couple of more layers to give it something to bond together. I know you've been building a dining home. How is that going, Zolan? So, but this came out nice. I'm really happy with the way this came out. And you could these pieces. I think are to buy these pieces of wood. I think they're $10 or $15. So you're going to some vents for the center lines, so I can 3D print. Oh, nice. Yeah. So let me go over here. Actually, I'm actually listening to myself, so ignore that, guys. I have to jump over to the creator dashboard. There you go. Sorry. Squirrel Master followed me 19 hours ago. Nice. So yeah, but it came out really good. Got 90% of the installation done, and the electrical is done. That's a lot of work, but the interiors is also another work. So the minute hand is moving, so we know it works. The hour hand should be fine if the second and the minute hand is moving and functioning correctly. But we have a working clock. Who knew? So I will have to design a way of mounting. But do you think here would be a good spot to mount it? Up here, and have a permanent mount right like that. Let me know what you think. So this was done on the Creality laser, their new Falcon laser. So I did it on the Falcon, and that's a 5-watt laser. And being basswood and being so soft, it's really easy to engrave. And we do have to use pretty high setting because it's a 5-watt, but and then I used my Artour CNC to engrave out the back to embed the mechanism deeper into the wood, so the central shaft of it that would actually to mount it would fit. I asked, but nobody answered. That's why, Jerry. Nobody answered me. Oh, you said yes. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't read it. Then that's my mistake. I'm sorry. So I will do that. I will have to design something. I'll probably look at doing something on CAD or something this evening after dinner and get it mounted up permanently behind me. I did move my lasers down to make space for it because that's where I was thinking of putting it. Okay, yup and yeppers. Okay, I don't translate hillbilly. Sorry, couldn't resist. So we have a working clock, and it looks nice. I have to say, it looks really good. That double pass, Jerry, if you are doing engraving, is actually really deep. So it's a good idea if you. Whereas a single pass, this was on at 80% or 80% power at 1400, and then this engraving here was done at 80% power at 1800. So it didn't burn as deep. It was only one. This was one pass. These were two passes. I'll ask again. Don't worry, just for you, Jerry. But it looks great. Now that would require yourself raising yourself up from the. Thanks, Olan. Yeah, love you too. So, I'm not going to stay on very, very long translating hillbilly. So I will check what is happening. It takes a couple of months ago. So, okay. So I will. I'm not staying on long. As I said, the dog. I'm cooking and getting the food ready for the dog right now. So I don't want to leave that unattended. And I have to cook my own dinner as well. But decided to pop on for a while just to say hi to everybody, and so you can see the result of the project, and it came out nice. Did you get the printer working, Jerry? Hey, Abadus, how are you? You were on our stream last night, on my hangout last night. So here's the final piece, the finished clock, and it works. Now it sounds like this. Mike, so what was done? Yeah, it looks really good. And everyone has agreed that we're going to mount it here. So it'll be, and my streams will be in the background. Well, I need to double check the font. It was just a font that I found online. It was one of those free fonts you can download online. And obviously the logo was the one that was created by DeWitt 3D. That's the new logo he created for me, which looks fantastic. I think you can also see it up in this upper corner over here. So it looks really good, and it's but I just want to show the end of the project. They actually do finished projects. Jerry, let me know. Oh, you did a walk about it. Oh, okay. If I have time after setting up the VR setup for my son tomorrow, I will actually set up the tic tac and trying to get that functioning. I'll figure out what goes on. Yeah, but this clock does. And it's an easy one to do. It's just all you need is a laser. Let me go check on one thing, guys. Just give me one moment. Sorry, I had to disappear. I had to check on my my dog's food. I'm actually cooking it right now. I don't want to make sure it doesn't boil over. It's on a low enough setting, so it should be good. So yeah, so who let Liam? I know. You'd be amazed what happens when I'm not on my leash, right, Zolan? But it's all it was is a couple of hours on the laser, and I could have been faster on the laser. When I did the very first engraving of the numbers, I never turned on the option to do the fast white space scan, so it actually skips over the white space in the image, and I never set that up. when I submitted the first job. And doing the engraving of the logo, I actually published that on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook this morning as well. You just got me housebroken. If you leave like 5 minutes, give a watch posted. Okay. Yeah. Well, I did a very quick. I did a recording of it using OBS this morning, and then I turned around and I brought it in. I brought into Resolve and I sped up the frame rate to something like 5 or 6 times normal, something like that, if I remember correctly, and that shrunk it down, and then I uploaded it to TikTok. So, but so I got a video of that being done, time lapsed, and then I got we just saw the final assembly. So other than the CNC part in the back, I actually didn't want to do, when I did they cut out the back to indent to seat this inside. I did not want to have to go through the hassle of creating a block for the right shape and size, and then creating a job on the CNC to do all the work. And so all I did was on my Artur CNC, I have manual knobs controls for X, Y, and Z. So I just turned it. It was actually orientated that way on the CNC because there's a lot more space on that machine than there is on the Congro. The Congro has side panels which limits the X width, whereas the Artur, the X-axis, is the same as the Y-axis on the Congro, so it's actually turned 90 degrees. So it's much wider and it's passed through, so you can push whatever you want all the way through on each side, or overhanging on both sides. And I did that, and then I just actually manually turned the spindle on, brought it down, and manually did 2 passes to do the clearing out of what I needed. And it did a decent job of it. It did a nice clean job of it, so I just went with that. It'll never be seen again. It's hidden behind the back, so who's going to see it ever again? So, came out fine. I'm happy with the result. How's everyone else's day going? I know, Zolan, you're busy with your tiny house. And Jerry, you've been doing some videos this morning. What's everybody else up to today? Because after I might do. I'm going to start working on this VR setup this afternoon. Will you watch it, Jerry? Thank you for watching that, by the way. So I'm going to probably start on some of the VR setup. I'll have to do mountings and wall mounting for the bases. You're at work at the moment and trying not to scream at them for doing stupid things. That's every day in the office, right? That's what it's like in the office. Don't hold back. Let it all out. Astroprinter. My TikTok name is Astroprinter. So you can find me on TikTok as Astroprinter. Is the normal name. But that's I don't have much up there, but I'm going to start posting a little bit more up there than I have been. If I do short videos, I'll start posting on TikTok. I may even, I have to build a mount for my tablet, because if I do that, I can actually do a TikTok live while I'm doing other stuff live as well. I let it all out and have all the time needed for pro. Yeah, okay, I understand. My bosses have gotten used to putting up with my bluntness. So, in most cases, sorry, that live edge is crumbling a little bit. I will have to give it a couple of more coats to make it more solid, so the bark will not crumble off. So other than that, what's everyone else up to? Shredding docks before 50 gets here. Okay. I'm finalizing a PowerPoint presentation that will I will do it in about 2 hours. Oh, okay. Hey, Wesley, how are you? So just Wesley, you weren't on my hangout last night, but on my hangout I was engraving a piece of basswood, and today I finished it and I installed the clock mechanism on it today. So I just finished that a few moments ago. The clock mechanism took a few moments to install as well. So I just finished that just literally maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Just got the shield back on MakerDeck printing. The shield. Hey John, what do you think of the clock? Just finished it. The one I was running on the hangout last night. So just finished the clock now, and everyone has an agreement that we're going to mount it up here somewhere in the background. But it works. We have a functioning clock. The back was I actually had to CNC out a piece in the back to embed it because the shaft was too thick, because the material is too thick. So I had to cut out an area and indent it to be able to, so I could attach it on the front. We know. Let's see. Oh, Captain America's shield. Okay, from Endgame. Nice. Did you mean for the spacing between the numbers and the word printer to be different? Yeah. Well, there was a suggestion made last night to offset it, the text a little bit, or the logo a little bit, because of to have it between the cube, the three-dimensional cube on top, and the letter T. And it made sense. And now offsetting to one side, yes, I didn't mean it, because this side is actually so elongated and narrow, I wouldn't have gotten the numbers in there anyway. So I brought it over on purpose, so it'd be in the most round area, so it actually function better as a clock. So that was on purpose. So yeah, I shifted stuff around because of the font and so on. To have the triangle, this cube, and the T in the center, and have the center point right in between the two, which was suggested last night. So it made sense to move it around, and it looks good. I don't mind it being a little bit off. It's only for me, but it shows what you can do with a diode laser. The 8 and the P. Yes, it is, because because of the font, the letter A is wider, and because of that, it is closer to the 8. If I centered them perfectly centered, what would happen is it'd be over, but the opening in the center where the center spiral is for the clock would actually be off center from the three-dimensional cube. So I did it on purpose. The heart of the tree is the middle, then. Yeah, the tree is wider on one side. Yes. It was probably, my guess is, it was, instead of being cut straight, it was probably sliced at a slight angle, which created this oval effect. But some trees are slightly elongated like that. They're not always perfectly round. They don't grow perfectly even all the way up. A lot of these are just too similar, too many clones. Yeah, they are very, very similar, but it's not about that. I did this to show people what you can do with simple stuff. A trip to Hobby Lobby and a little and a laser engraver, and you can actually come up with a nice result like this. It's a day's work. Like, I started the engraving of the numbers last night, just before my stream, or about half an hour before my stream, and then it was on throughout the stream, and then afterwards I left everything as is, and I did the logo this morning, and the outcome is nice. So, and if you're in an area where people like this type of stuff, you can sell these. People will buy this kind of stuff, and it'll cost you $15, maybe $20 to make it. And you can sell it for $40. You just have to put a hanger on the back, which I have to design yet. But they work, and they're simple. No, I did not. I bought that's basswood. You buy it in Hobby Lobby. I think it costs $10 or $15 for it, for that piece of wood. It's live edge, so it looks really nice. It looks very rustic. Hey Amanda, how are you? Dude, you got a Dell? Yes, I did get a Dell. I got a Dell workstation. Heading home, Zolan. Okay, drive safe. Yeah, so these, like in a lot of areas, you could sell these, and they're very easy to set up. You just need to get a mounting in the back. That's all. You can just get a mounting here. Put a mounting right behind the 12, and you can hang it wherever you want. So it comes out really nice. So the volt was in. The people said it looks really good here, so that's where it's going to be mounted. But it's very simple to do. I think they actually no, it costs more. I think it costs to make it. It cost. That's 12, 16. It costs about $26, $27 to make it. So to sell one, you'd want to make $40 out of it to make it to try to make 40 or $50 to make a turn money out of it. But you can customize these. That's the nice thing. If someone has a family tree, you can engrave the family tree in there as a logo, or you can just leave it as plain numbers. But you can customize the center of this to be whatever you want. And then you can do, if you use darker wood, which wouldn't be great for laser engraving, but if you did go with a slightly darker wood, you can actually get gold hands or white hands that'll go in it. I would burn. You could do a family crescent. Yes, you could. Yep, you could easily do a family crest. All you need is the image of it, an SVG file preferably. But yes, crest would be very, very, very easy to do. And you could do a whole pile of different things. You could do a family tree. You could do a family crest. You could just leave it blank. You could put I don't know, family member names or whatever. There's a whole option of whatever somebody wants in the center can be done. So it's very versatile what you can use it for, and it's not hard work. So that's all I came on to do. I tried to come on to get that working, and we do. As I said, the CNCing out of the back, you don't always have to do that. If you measure the thickness of the wood, you need to add about 4 or 5 mils in addition to make sure you have enough space to get to bolt that on that clock mechanism. The one that I actually had was a little short, and I think it's probably one of the longer ones you can get out there. So what I did is I CNC'd out the back to make it to indent the clock mechanism in the back. If you look there, you can see it's actually indented a little bit. Well, 5 or 6 millimeters is all. Actually, no. Wood will always go dark. So dark wood will actually burn black, will turn blacker. It'll get black easier because it absorbs more of the light from the laser. So you might want to do, if you go really dark, is you could actually cover the material with say painter's tape, laser engrave maybe 2 or 3 passes to get good deep engraving, and then use some sort of filler or something that, like a paint that you can actually pour into the engravings, and that would fill them with a brighter color so they'd stand out. So, but the light, the numbers, the dark numbers on the light wood looks fantastic. So I'm going to leave it as is. I might actually get a few more of these and do a few more of them because I like how they look. I might try and get some more that are closer to being round and just do clocks only, and then make a common hanging bracket for the back of it. But it's good. That's all I came on to do, guys. I have to go take care of puppy food right now. But and I might, if I get time later on, I'll pop on again. But I probably won't. I might get time tomorrow to pop on for a while. But just decided to show you the end result, and the end result I'm happy with. Yes, with me with my silly smile. Okay, none of that. Well, we know the hands work. Everything's functioning, so it's good. Yeah, good vibes. So let you all go back to your evenings. Go have your dinner. Some of you have dinner to get. So mine, I'm about to cook mine right now, and get some more stuff done. I might engrave actually that on a round drink canister. I have one that I'm keeping right here. This, because it's round, it's easier to engrave. Just take off this piece, and I can engrave it as is on a rotary. So I might actually put a logo on this here somewhere. But if this will be done by the CO2 laser, not by a diode laser. All right, guys. I just wanted to pop in and say that and show you the end result, and you can see the final result being done. I hope you found it. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you liked the outcome. I'm personally pleased with the outcome, and I'll let you go and get on with your evenings. Just popped in for a small while, just to say hi to everyone and show the results. So thank you again. Let's see who's actually on. I'll see if we will run a raid over to somebody who's there. Let's see who's already streaming. MakerDeck, Paleontologizing is on. MakerDeck is on. Boyd's Custom Fabs. I'm not sure what he's doing. Who do you want to raid over to, guys? Any suggestions? If not, I'll just raid over. If nobody has any quick suggestions, I can raid over to Hank. I like Hank Bud. He's only got 12 people watching right now, so maybe we'll raid over to Hank and say hi. Hank is often doing he makes guitars and banjos and stuff like that, so he's really good. So if nobody has any other suggestions, have a quick look here. Hey Tim, I'm just about to wrap up as always, but this is the final. I just want to show you the final work of the laser engraving I was doing, and I put the clock mechanism into it today. So it looks cool. So do you need me for something? If so, chime up. Yeah, the dog food is cooking. It does look really good, yeah. It actually came out really nice. I'm going to do more of these actually, more clocks like this, because they're easy to do, and they don't take an awful lot of work. You can do various faces and various numbers on it. It come out really well. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you again for dropping in, all the 11 of you, and those who give me the heart. Thank you so much. If you haven't already followed or subscribed or whatever, consider subscribing. Helps the channel. If you're not already subscribed to me on YouTube, costs nothing to subscribe to me on YouTube. Do so if you haven't already done so. I'd like to get my numbers over up to over the 1,000 number. I haven't gotten there yet, so it'd be nice, and share out with all your friends, and let's see what happens. And with that, guys, last cheesy grin, and I will let you go. And thank you. It was a fun project to do. Nice and easy one to do as well. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And we're going to raid over to Hank and see what Hank's up to, okay? He's only got 12 people following. And he's probably working on a guitar or something, is my guess, or a banjo. Let's raid. Thank you, guys, again. And it's fun as always. I probably will be on for a small while tomorrow. Not sure what time yet, but I probably will try and jump on for a while tomorrow. Okay, we have 4 people ready to raid. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And we should be over.